All right. I'm cool with people seeing the behind the scenes. We're having a rough start, which is actually preferable, I have to say. In a weird way, that's a good thing. A little microphone on. Try and act like I got my shit together. Oh, sorry. I don't know if I could say that on the rest of the other stuff out there. So we're still figuring out exactly how we're going to set things up here in studio, guys. Just go to the Miro board one real quick. There we go. That's fine. So, yeah, let me change my input. It's my bad. Hard to see my input. Sorry, guys. We are really. There's like change to that input. That's the orange one. You hit it for me. This right up here above. Sorry. So what we're doing right now, there it is we have been trying to figure out exactly how we're going to figure out our news flow. This is our first episode. We've been trying to determine exactly how we're going to format the show. But what I have behind me right now is where I'm gathering the news at the moment. We are currently doing all of our news gathering in Miro. We're going to be building very soon a way of aggregating all of this news into one source. But the big news of the week so far was that Instagram, which is a Meta corporation, might as well just be Facebook, right? They have set themselves up for RTMP receiving of streams. So they are now a source that we can start sending video to from OBS, from other hardware, other software solutions like StreamYard, and although I don't know if StreamYard does vertical yet. This is going to probably force their hand. That's an interesting thing that's happening right now, is that I think EV Mux does vertical. No, StreamYard does do vertical as well. See, when I'm prepared, this will be a completely different experience. So next week will be amazing. But basically the fact that Instagram is going to allow people to stream to them is like the big news drop. Now, to go to what's happening with Rumble as well. Let me pull this up so I can take a look real quick. I got my screen smallerized. Hold on a second. We switched them both to 3. Can you push my confidence over to the Instagram monitor? I think that's just number 1 on the bottom. The red button's down on the bottom there. So I have Brian in studio with me, who you saw on the establishing shot. We are basically retooling this entire studio for doing just this, just the news, and learning. I'm trying to teach him my system, so it's really an unfair thing that you've had to land my plane. Oh, thank you. That's beautiful. That's what I needed. So I can kind of control what is behind me a little bit there. That's perfect, son. Son. Used to working with my son. Here is the news as I'm gathering it all on this board. And I want to, this is not the same as a mouse. Using a touchpad over here. There we go. There's probably a mode I need to set this to. But under Rumble, Rick had posted that, yeah, you can go ahead and move that to the left a little bit. Oh, you can be my hands. I love it. You don't have to do that. You just do it on the Miro above. You just move the Miro board around up top. Grab in the white area and you can just slide it. Right click. There you go. Move things around wherever you need to. Here, just click on the background. So what's really interesting right now is I'm actually training. You put it all the way to the top. You had it in the right order. The layers were fine. Go ahead and drag that back up. It's only visible because you have it selected. It's invisible in the stream. I'll show you what I mean. Here, watch. Right over here. If you move that up, back up to here. Yeah. If you stop. If you click on the background, then you deselect only. EVMux is very interesting. It actually brings your selection to the top layer when you're streaming visually in the control panel, but it's not how it actually is in broadcast. So I got a lot of ins and outs that I've got to do a big mental dump if I'm going to be capable of doing a show from this seat. And this is the goal. What you're looking at is kind of what we're in the process of styling. This is something that we go through for all of our clients. We help them style a show. It will not look like this, but it will look much better. We are just in the process of figuring out what it is that we want to show, when we want to show it, how we want to show it. There's a lot of tricks that we have learned over time that we are going to employ in this process. Yeah, you got it. Click in the gray area and it turns it off. There you go. He's figuring it out. So this is a screenshot. It's probably from about 5 or 6 hours ago that Rick was letting us know that there's a lot of updates coming to our mobile apps. So if you have Rumble on your iPhone and if you have Rumble on your Android device, I don't know, Rick, if it's the same, but you're going to want to go ahead and make sure that all of your apps are up to date. There's a new search feature that will be rolling out. I think that they announced. If we slide over to the right there, Brian, let's go all the way to the right of the Instagram story because I want to kind of cover what Rumble is up to. Yeah, just right click to drag, keep on going. A little further right. Yeah, the big news is you can stream on Instagram. Yoo-hoo. Okay. More to the right. I need to get a mouse here. Wonder if I can zoom out a little bit. There it is. Yeah. Let me scroll down a little bit. Oh, it went too far. That was my bad. You're like, bro, I had it. So put it right there. Just scroll wheel into that section. There you go. I may need to run an actual mouse. Yep, to the right-hand side. There we go. All the way to the right. So it looks like on their web interface right now, autocomplete on search was literally launched while we were trying to set up cameras. And I'm like, I can't do both at the same time. But this is a huge deal. Everyone has been waiting for a bevy of features from Rumble. The fact that Rumble is currently doing autocomplete on search means that they have revamped their entire search engine, which is going to make discoverability for any content on Rumble start to skyrocket. I think finding content on Rumble has been their biggest weakness, and it looks like that might be getting fixed here in the next couple of days. It's already fixed on the web. Soon it will be rolling out, I'm sure, in the mobile apps as well. Would love to get more information. We try and keep in contact with Rick and find out exactly when those things happen, and we do screenshot them and we don't hear from him directly and put things right in our board. Let's go to the one on the left. Bongino did a pretty interesting, fun little thing here. It looks like the number of people watching him on his live stream actually broke the search. Let me click a link here real quick. I know you got it in a nice position here. Is it three fingers, one finger? What's my drag? Never mind. Yeah, it doesn't like me. Hit the little X icon in the top right hand corner of that. That'll take us right to the Twitter feed. I thought it was hilarious. I was going to try and download this video, but we'll go ahead and just let it play. Here, all I gotta do is share this tab. I don't have to change anything right here. Here we go. So let's full screen this, and
that's going to be going crazy.
I thought this was great.
Break it down. Break it. Did we break it? Yes. 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 We broke the chat. And people, this chat
So this is
going crazy.
This is the
Break it down.
culture
Break
we're
it.
all
Did
a
we break
part
it?
of that I absolutely adore. Where else would we like? It's kind of like Elon Musk celebrating the fact that that the rocket blew up on the landing. Right? He kind of does the same shit. He's like, "We love mistakes. We love them." So I love that that's part of our culture. We all know that we're pioneers, and thank you for pioneering with us. So. Other news that happened. Let me go back. I'm going to take a look at my board and zoom out a little bit and see if I can refresh my own memory. Oh yeah, we also on the Twitch side of what's happening on Rumble, there are raids now. So Twitch, look out! Looks like Rumble's coming for you hard and fast. Interpret that however you will, but. Your lunch money's about to get taken from you, Twitch. And I like Twitch, but I think it's interesting that they are developing so quickly all the feature set necessary for people to migrate. And I want people to start moving to Rumble. At Seven Talents, what's interesting, you bring me up full if you want, is that kind of our philosophy on what we're doing with our company is we're trying to advise people on what we believe is the next big video revolution. We want people to be part of a community that we're going to start building about the technology. I mean, there's plenty of YouTube channels out there. I love watching Nick Nimmons. I love watching all the people that are involved with StreamYard. I love watching the EV Mux guys when they do their town halls. And what I want to be able to do here is boil down all that information. But let me be honest about this. Like I was going to be dishonest, but it's not just you. It's me as well. I believe personally that we're kind of on an apex at the moment, and we see that there's going to be a major shift to freedom of speech platforms. Love what Elon is doing with X. You may disagree with me. That's okay. We're allowed to disagree. Rumble is doing the same. There are a lot of cohorts of those who put free speech above censorship, and I believe that they will win long term. And we are going to do our best to support those who support free speech. We want to help those who want to put out content that is in the vein of free speech. Those are our people. You're our people, if that's you. And we want to help you. We're going to try and build a company that does the best that it can to help provide those types of solutions to you. We are not where we need to be yet. I would say by this time next week, we will be able to start doing some intake forms and figuring out who of you in the community are interested in working with us. Who of you in the community want us to work for you on all sides. There are things to learn. There are things to teach. We want to be at the epicenter of this next generation in video. And ultimately, I'm not going to make any bones about it. There's no secrets here. We want to be, we actually want to do something that StreamYard themselves said they were going to do, and then they backed out of. So thank you, StreamYard. We want to provide remote production support and facilitate remote production support for people making content, because what I have learned, and you'll learn more as we post more videos online, and you'll get to see more of the behind the scenes of the type of production that we work on. What I've learned working in the professional video industry is that I don't care how good you are, producing content by yourself isn't for everybody, and it really isn't even for the majority. There's a lot of people who have a lot to say, a lot to provide, a lot to give, but doing it alone kind of sucks. It divides your attention. It makes your content suffer, wouldn't you say, Brian? Is that fair way to put that? Yeah, he's giving the thumbs up. So yeah, it's a big downer to try and figure out. I mean, if I were doing this alone, this show wouldn't have even happened without Brian showing up today. And that's kind of the point. We're going to keep developing this, and this can get honed to a point to where I could auto drive, but I couldn't do everything that I want to do. And I believe that if your show is that much on autopilot, you're not doing the dynamic content that you want to do. And we want to help others do that type of content. We want you to be able to facilitate you being able to have interviews and not worry about how the switching is working, or do I have to switch it while pretending to look directly in the middle of the camera. We want you to be able to relax and actually be part of your own productions. So if you're interested also on the production side, learning what it is, we will hopefully become like the Uber for video production. Is that kind of how we figure we're placing ourselves? We're finding drivers who want to drive for other people who need drivers. It's going to be very similar to that. And so that's kind of what we're starting here. But at the core of it is we want to, I mean, whether I was doing this in front of a camera or not, and this show will be more polished as far as its presentation of the news, regardless of what it is that we're in the process of producing. Man, I lost my train of thought. What was I saying? Shit. You're like, I don't know. You got like 15 people over there yelling at you.
Here's the news.
Oh, here's the news. Thanks for no. I was thinking about the website because we've been working on trying to get forms set up. We want to be able to process requests from people that have questions about what it is that we do. And I lost my train of thought on that one. But anyway, we want to be in a position to actually get talented people the support they need and get support the opportunities, provide the actual work opportunities that I thought actually existed on StreamYard originally. That they had like this, we are going to, and this isn't a critique against them. I think we all need to focus on whatever it is that we do best. I think what we do best is actually the behind the scenes work. And we know a lot of people who do the behind the scenes work, but not everybody that's started up a podcast, started up a new show on YouTube or on Rumble with StreamYard or with EVMux. It's a lot of things to juggle. We get it. We want to find out that sweet spot that you get the support that you need, that everybody benefits. So, and at the same time, we elevate those voices that deserve to be elevated. We think that the people that are supportive of free speech are those voices. And I think that is a great line in the sand to leave it at. We're here to help those who want to get their voice heard. So if you have those types of questions, we don't have a lower third. We were going to have one all set up. We have all these fancy things we wanted to do, and I don't have all the shortcut keys made. And when we do figure that out, those will all end up being tutorials as well, like how to set up, how to bring those things up on request. But you can email us at info at 7talents.com. Oh, he's making one. Ah, love it. Love it. Are you just adding it to like a scroll? So my man is working with EVMux for the very first time and is already making like a banner scroll without me showing him how to do it. Didn't you? No? He did. So yeah, while Brian types that up, you can reach us on email at info@7talents.com. You can reach us on Twitter at 7talentscom. So just remove the dot. Oh, there it is. info@7talents.com on the scroll. It's a little small. I'll figure out how to fix all that before the next show. But we hope to actually get this set up so that we can have our guests in. I want to have Rick in to talk with me, so I'm calling you out, man. I would love to have the opportunity to talk with Chris Pavlovsky. That would be amazing. If Elon wanted to tell us that what he's doing to compete with all this amazing stuff that's happening in Rumble, we'll take the call. I would love to talk with the StreamYard guys and see how they're approaching their software updates. I would love to talk with anyone that wants to talk about these industries, about streaming, live video production, whether it's with hardware, whether it's with software. Obviously, we're we're hardware people trying to figure out how to make software not look like software solutions. I don't know how many times you get onto a StreamYard stream and go, oh, it's a StreamYard stream. We want to get over that syndrome, and make sure that everybody's content looks unique. Everyone's content is branded correctly, and it looks as good as it can, and that you're looking dead center in camera when you're talking with people, and that you have the way to interact with your chats. We can help you figure all of that out. Nice thing is, we're not done here. You get to see us set this up. It's an ongoing process. Is there anyone that's like, do we have viewers that have anything on the chat at all? I don't think we have any in the chat, do we? Is there comments? Yeah, it looks like there's a red dot on the comments. We might want to take whatever they might have there. It's right next to banners where you were. The red dot. Use this. You can proof it before you post it. Off of Rumble. Yep, that's fine. You just go to the comment. Yep, and show it. It'll load in. Luther! Awesome. Still, what does he say?
The kids to bed.
We'll
Rewatch later.
Oh, good. Yeah, well, you get to see our train wreck of us mid-production and setting up this setup. It will be better. We'll have our branded intros. We'll have our stingers. We'll have audio. You're like, no, maybe we won't. Brian. I will. I will focus on making this show what it should have been today on next Friday. And by that time, I was hoping that today there would be a release for the static RTMP streams. I'm going to take a look at my Miro board here. I'm borrowing the mouse. Sorry for half a second. I just want to see if there's any other thing I wanted to report in the news that had happened. Oh, we had the other thing I was going to report is there was a Tucker Carlson thing. Tucker is now has a yeah, you can have the mouse back. Sorry. He's got, yeah, and you can size that in if you want. He was on X only until I think yesterday or today. So that's a big deal as well for him to come over. So all the heavy hitters are moving in to the Rumble sphere, which is awesome. And you can get to him by just typing rumble.com/Tucker Carlson. So welcome to the Rumble community. Glad to have you in this mix. I'm sure you've had more talks with those in charge at Rumble than I ever have. So I don't know why. Who's welcoming who? You're probably welcoming me. But the other news that has happened as well is that back. I'm gonna scroll. You're typing. My bad. We are sharing a computer. So the first thing that will happen is that we will get 2 computers set up on this setup. Oh, it was the EV Mux thing, and I missed it. Go ahead, and you got it back. I just had to get the visual reminder. You know what I could do? I could do visual reminders here. I'm sorry. As you will. We learn what tools we have as we're in the process of setting this up. Honestly, this whole idea of turning this into a weekly show, and this being the first of them, and the worst of them, because your first is always your worst, is that we came up with it last night. All I planned to do up until last night was just report, here's software updates that EVMux didn't tell us about, and here's a little thing that's happening with X, and it's just one of the news kind of in a WordPress feed, and I'm like, the epiphany is, we could actually do the thing that we do for you guys. So I didn't want to miss my time slot. I want it to be every Friday at 7 because it's branding, 7 talents. 7 p.m. Central Time puts us in a nice spot for everybody. But every Friday we will wrap up everything that has happened in this space. And as soon as we're done, even here working, the entire next week, hopefully I will be done. We'll have this entire space set up for making this the best show we can possibly make it. And we'll get to go on all this ride together. So, what have we got? Do we have any other comments, or what are we at on time? Feels like a 30-minute mark. Is it a 30-minute mark? 25 minutes? 27? Gotcha. It's kind of like Penn and Teller. He's a mute. It's perfect. Things that I plan and want to do with this broadcast. So please follow. If you're watching on Facebook, give us a like. If you're on YouTube, do the follow thing, do the bell thing. Our home will always, though, be Rumble at the end of the day, because they are video first, and they are the only video first free speech platform. Now, I know that X has similar tendencies. I don't know if I trust one more than the other, but one of those two is focused more on video than the other at the moment. And more tools are coming out that we need to be testing. So the Rumble thing, even though we can get a static key for X, Rumble is where we see the future of video. So just full disclosure, that is how we see things. But we believe that everybody should be multi-streaming to every platform that they can in order to get people to find their audience, to get people kind of on their team. You have to be everywhere as long as you possibly can be. And one of the tactics we are probably going to do, and we're going to borrow this from Steven Crowder, it's a brilliant tactic. I don't think Crowder is the only one who's employed this tactic with Rumble, but it's also the same tactic. And these are tactics that you should be employing as well in your content. Russell Brand is doing this, where the first half hour or the first half of your show or the first section of your show, it could be just 10 minutes of your show. Could be, here are the things that we plan to talk about. We know we can't talk about them here because they filter words. They censor us. I'm not even going to go into all of the politics. I don't even want to make this about politics. It is about free speech, but it isn't about all the other politics around it. We're right at the 30-minute mark. Sounds like we should be probably killing everybody else off, and then you want to join us only on Rumble. I think that's what we're talking about. We were going to always do everything we can. Are we going to say goodbye to Facebook? All right, goodbye everybody on Facebook. Catch us on Rumble. Go get a Rumble account. And YouTube, you're next. We're going to boot you guys. Go to rumble.com/7talentscom and follow us there if you want to continue commenting